new material.
Oh my God! Hey guys!
Hi everyone. This is not a Joe or a Johnny.
No, I'm a combination of both actually. Here at Hashtag we have jumped into genetic splicing, and I am a mix of Joe and Johnny. I'm called Daniel.
How did we get that from Joe and Johnny?
Well, we just chose to get another name.
Yeah.
We just said, who cares? You know,
all right,
I am an individual,
exactly.
for goodness
sakes. You are your own person. You are your own person.
Gosh.
So what have you, your own separate person, been doing this week?
Me, this week I have been just reading up on everything concerning superheroes so I can be ready
so
for
that
the
you
show.
can be prepared for this show.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been
here. There's a lot of Captain Marvel stuff, but yeah.
I haven't been here since last year. I've missed you guys.
God, you've been here for, it's been so long.
I know, it's been so long. And
since last year.
Yeah, so I too read up some stuff, especially Captain Marvel things. And someone asked in the chat about Young Justice. I have been watching Young Justice.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me that I have to watch the episodes tonight so I can review them.
I have not, but there have been. So what they did, they put 3 episodes out in
yes,
one
it's 3
time,
episodes every week.
Oh, no way!
Yeah. Except for 1 week is going to be 2 because they don't have the right number of episodes.
Oh, so. But then those 2 are probably going to be long ones or going to be a 2-parter.
Probably.
Okay, so what do you think so far?
Okay, I like it. Now, here, to be honest, like, I wasn't, like, someone who's, like, a super fan of
Oh my gosh,
Justice.
you know what I didn't even say? Hello, everyone. This is Tatiana.
I am, but y'all know that.
You said who I am. We didn't say who you are. And this is a superhero.
Know if they knew you.
Oh, well, guys, don't worry about me. And this is the Superhero News Network.
Yes, that
SNN.
is what you're watching, hopefully.
Hello, you're watching SNN. Go ahead.
So it's like, Young Justice was already a little bit darker than you'd expect from your Teen Titans-esque characters.
Definitely.
But this is, like, even more. Like, it's like children are dying and, being kidnapped and experimented on. And obviously we're also in the wake of Wally's death. Which they haven't dealt with as much as I expected them to, but I'm sure they're going to come back around to it. Because it's a time jump.
Okay.
Like, you come in, it's like a couple years later. I think it's like 2 years later.
Oh, so they probably already dealt with it. So there will be something that comes up.
Yeah, I'm sure something will come up because I feel like
it's not really
Wally's
a death.
He's got to come back. He's got to pop out of the Speed Force or whatever.
So are we dealing with Impulse there right now at the moment?
He hasn't. He's like in the background. He is there, but he's not doing anything.
So who's our speedster for the team?
We don't right now. The main
they
characters.
Don't really do
yeah,
they're still doing the wet work
they're like kind
of
of focusing on like 1 or 2 characters at a time. So I'm sure that the more people will come in later on. But right now it's like mainly Connor, Dick, Artemis, and the new, like, the Markovian characters.
Oh, okay. Oh, gosh.
So we're dealing with
metahumans
in Markovia.
Okay, so then with that being the case and everything like that, do we have some of our people that have now gone into being on the Justice League and are no longer part of the Young Justice team?
I think all the Young Justice people are still Young Justicing, like young adult Justicing. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the Justice League is dealing with their own civil war in the meantime, right?
Oh.
They've got Darkseid going on. They've got like Batman broke away from the Justice League. Yeah, and Black Lightning's got his own like he's going through it.
Really?
Yeah, he has a situation that happened to him. That affects him deeply as a father, right? And just as a human being who's very concerned about his actions and about, consequences. So yeah.
It's just as good. The writing is still solid. Yeah. The character development is definitely there. They're fleshed out, and we're still just rolling through. Yes. We didn't lose a step.
No, yeah, definitely not. It definitely just feels like you're getting right back into it. And if anything, like the only main problem that I have with it, Tim Drake left. Well, there you go. But there's no focus on him whatsoever, so.
Oh, no?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I mean, yeah, there's only been 3 episodes.
He left.
So.
What do you want? I'm just saying, you left. You want me to focus on you for a bit? Let's focus on you.
I mean, there's other stuff like a couple things like were jumped a little fast. Like now he just said that and it reminded me. Like Connor, spoilers, I guess it's already out though. You guys should know.
You guys probably watch this.
Connor proposes to McGann, and I was like, what? Oh, okay.
She said no.
No, she said yes. She said yes. So I was like, oh, okay. I guess we're doing this.
I wanted her to say no.
Yeah, I know.
It would have been so good.
My friend also was like mad at her because she like lied to him. Before. So Aqualad is the new Aquaman. There we go. But yeah, so they're having.
Okay. So and then what's going on with Aquaman?
I can't even remember what side he's on now. I think he's on the staying with the Justice League side, but Blackwing will probably tell me.
Okay.
Basically, he's like the leader of the Justice League. I think that's what it is. He's like the leader of the Justice League.
Because of reasons. Okay.
Because of reasons.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, because of reasons. We're not totally, they haven't really delved into that yet.
Okay.
Because it's been more focused on the younger kids.
And then we'll have moments where we have flashbacks, everything like they usually do, and they'll use their regular tropes so they can go ahead. Exactly.
But no, it's really good.
Okay.
If anything, it's just like the abrupt ending of episodes.
It'd
be like 20 minutes, and then like the episode just ends. And it's not even, you know, like...
that's usually how it always did.
Okay.
See, that's the thing. That's how it usually always did.
Yeah.
If you think back and you remember everything that we did see before, there are moments where something would happen on the episode, and they're like, all right, and pump.
Right.
And you're like, what? And always end on that tone, like, and pump.
Which is like, thank God that they have 3 episodes at a time, because if it just ended and I had to wait a week, it'd be like, excuse me, we were not done yet. And the reason why Black Lightning left me no sense, but the storyline he gets
not because it was
after.
family. Oh well, then the
storyline he gets after is not related to, like, he leaves and then a thing happens, and that thing.
Oh, so he left for no reason, and then
but he's got his
this
storyline.
family thing happens.
Yeah, which I think is good.
Oh,
and
hey,
we've got a
up?
super chat already from Toke Kid, my favorite. You too could be my favorite if you super chat, which just means hitting that little money button, which I know that you want to do. Anyway, Toke Kid says they should have kept season 2 Beast Boy VA.
Oh, so they didn't. So
yeah, I mean,
okay.
I will say, like, any time that there is a voice actor change,
right.
It's a little bit jarring to
me. It is
me.
jarring. It's actually real. Yeah, it becomes like where you're like, oh my God, it's like cognitive dissonance.
Right.
It fights with you. And you're just like, I don't understand what's going on.
Right.
Yeah, it does feel that way.
I even felt cognitive dissonance, even though I know it's, like, wrong, because I just finished Titans. And we've got that dick. Oh. And then suddenly it's Jesse McCartney. And I was like, who is this stranger? This is not Dick Grayson. But that's wrong. I apologize to you, Jesse McCartney.
I love that guy, though.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now I'm back in it. I warmed back to him. I'm back in it. Blackwing is giving you the whole thing.
Okay,
so
Blackwing, you and I, we're going to have to talk.
Well,
actually, I'm going to probably watch it tonight after when I get home.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. Forget about it.
Do it.
I can get it legally. I mean, legally is what I said.
Yes.
Anyway.
Right, you can get it legally. Yes, speaking of other great legal things.
Moving on. So, we already started talking about DC. That's how we, I breaking in. But
let's get in it.
Moving in, so from DC, let's go a little bit into Marvel.
Oh, all right.
Now, there's a lot of things going on right now.
A lot of things, specifically directed at one woman.
My God.
One awesome woman.
This is interesting, though.
Yeah.
But that's like, it's the big hubbub where everybody's like, all right, this is Marvel's Wonder Woman, so we're going to make sure that we push it down your throats also.
Marvel's Wonder Woman,
we
oh
want
my
to make
God.
sure that she is, we're not just incidentally just like shoving it down your throat.
Right.
We're actually giving you some info. And one big thing right now that everybody's watching, because we're all watchdogs, everybody's watching is definitely, we'll talk later, everybody's watching for is anything you can get concerning knowing more about the movie before the movie comes out.
Right. It's like everyone wants all the spoilers, but then when you get too many, you're like disappointed by the movie.
Yeah.
So don't look that hard. But merchandising, toys and merchandising we can do, right? So
and with toys and merchandising, of course, there is the big situation that's going on right now, which is also an article that we do have on that #show.com, where we started to notice that, a smart, eagle-eyed fan happened to notice there are some telltale signs in the toys.
Right.
Go ahead and chat me up concerning those telltale signs.
Well, the eagle-eyed fan was MCU Collector 24.
That's what I did right now. I just pulled a Joe.
A Joe? Is that what Joe does?
Hello, this is SNN.
Oh
yes,
my God.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I just enjoy it.
All right, well, you are a combination of Joe and Joe.
I am.
So
every once in a while I'll do something like my father, and I'll put on my shoes, and I'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah. Father A,
and then Father B, or whatever. I do have shoes on. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
MCU Collector 24 posted photos on Instagram of the different Legends and Captain Marvel.
Yes. That
they picked
we don't have them behind us yet.
No, we don't, sadly. But yes, they will be. But so each one of these little action figures has a little miniature description of the characters. So I'm not going to read them all to you. Also, my eyeballs don't work that well to do it.
So hard.
Yeah, but there's like a little pieces of backstory that we can pick up based on it. So, for example, Cold War backstory for Nick Fury is
yes,
right.
I was like,
he's been disappointed by it, or he's got like some trauma from that,
of course,
and now he's sort of going he's I don't know, not necessarily in hiding, but it seems like Captain Marvel's going to draw him out.
Yeah, he kind of stepped away from the limelight, and he's getting more into being far more covert. Essentially, is what we definitely are kind of seeing right now at the moment. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. And then from Carol, it's just like she's got two. But it basically tells you, I guess it, confirms that it's the war between the Kree and the Skrulls, and Earth is just sort of like an innocent bystander, right?
Yes.
Earth gets caught up in it without actually being a part of it, which I think is going to be, it's going to be interesting because from what I've read here, it sounds like there's not really like a person who's right, Like obviously she's on the Kree side, one would imagine.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that the Krees are actually right. They both sound pretty...
Well, the Kree, aren't the Kree the ones that use us for, like, experiments, et cetera, blah, blah,
yes. And I'm sure that
why
she
we
will...
have Inhumans now because of that.
But she's, like, she kind of predates.
Yeah, she does.
She thinks, like, oh,
no, well, from what I understand, they're good.
And then she's going to be like, wait a second.
We'll get into that concerning some other things with, concerning, some other things with other stories. But yeah, with that being the case, they're giving us a lot. We kind of find out, we definitely know concerning Jude Law's character.
Right, Yon-Rogg.
And know exactly where he stands concerning his connection with her, being a mentor, et cetera, blah, blah, which is interesting. But that didn't really give us too much. It was more of the Fury, his and the two separate Carol Danvers.
Yes, two separate Carol Danvers. And then there's Talos, which is
oh my gosh, that's right.
So his, like, he's a shapeshifter, so we know he's like an amazing shapeshifter and spy.
He's a super
Skrull,
guys.
He's a super Skrull. And what I liked about it was the way they described him made him sound like a hero to his people, right? So like they didn't write that little description as if like, oh, he's the big bad, and
No, he's just once again. I mean, this is a war, and with that being the case, we're only gonna get the stories from it's history, which history is pretty much the story.
Her story now.
Well, yes, but history is supposed to be the story of the winner. So it's the victor. And right now at the moment, since we're supposed to be in the middle of both, if you notice, we're getting that kind of feel from both of them. When we got Carol Danvers and all of them, and how pretty much, they're here to save and blah, blah. And then him, I'm here to save and blah, blah. It's like both of them are
They're both on the same side,
and that's interesting. But Toku hits us with something that's pretty interesting. He's excited for Cloak and Dagger Season 2.
Oh, God, yes.
He's more excited for that than he is Ms. Marvel.
Oh, then Captain Marvel.
Then Captain Marvel, yes.
I thought for a second, I thought he was saying then Miss Marvel, and I was like, excuse me? Miss Marvel is coming? But
I was like,
I
was like, okay.
Sadly for me. I don't know if I'm more excited for Cloak and Dagger Season 2 than I am as Captain Marvel, just because it's, everyone's talking about Captain Marvel, so it hypes me up. But Cloak and Dagger Season 1 was amazing. So if y'all have not watched it yet, you should. I think it takes a couple episodes to get into. Like the first couple are kind of slow.
Yeah,
but once you get to like 4 and onwards.
Because by then we've gotten all the exposition. It was unfortunate that it took 4 episodes for us to get all that exposition. When the episodes are supposed to be about roughly an hour, which means 45 minutes. I should have already gotten all of that by episode 2.
It was slow, but once you're invested, it's not going to disappoint you. Hopefully.
Well, true. And sometimes it moves a little bit faster than Runaways. Somebody was just going to say, there you go.
Runaways.
How about the Runaways? Well, that's the thing. I watched all of season 2 for the Runaways.
I have not finished season 2, but how was it for you?
It's, in some pieces, if you read the comic and everything, it's rewarding. You see the things that you were like, why didn't they do? Why didn't they do? And it was like, well, we didn't because we were waiting for season 2, guys.
Right.
So it was like, okay, I get it. And,
there's payoff.
There is. There's particular things you're going to see some shake-ups with the roster also on the show. But I will say it was rewarding to an extent.
Okay. I mean, I saw like...
It's not Cloak and Dagger, though.
Right. No, it's not Cloak and Dagger. I was going to say, like, I feel like Runaways almost was the opposite of Cloak and Dagger in that it started off, like, hit the ground running.
Dude, yes! And then just, like...
And then you're like, wait, when are we running away?
It hit the ground running because it was going downhill. And then, finally, it hits the valley, and you're like, okay, we're still going. Because we got nothing but momentum. And then we hit a hill, and it was like, oh... All right, everybody get behind us, all push. And that's what we're dealing with right now. It was the push until we got halfway through the season. And then after that, we hit our peak.
Right.
And then we started to go down again, and it was just running again. So
it's like a roller coaster
Runaways,
there.
Yeah.
Runaways
is definitely a roller coaster. It's a show that I say, stick with, you will enjoy. And if you do like Cloak and Dagger, you will enjoy the Runaways on some aspects. But Cloak and Dagger seems to be, funny enough, a little bit more mature.
Yeah, more mature, and also...
And it's on freeform.
As someone pointed out, like, they also kind of delve more into the fantastical or more into, like, the mystical elements of it.
They do.
Whereas Runaways.
Oh my God!
Tend
Everything
to try
was
to
simple.
make it technical.
Yes. Oh well, he's just a tech genius.
Right.
Oh, this person's just. It was like, stop writing it off, guys. Give me the stuff. I want a mutant. I want an alien. I want it to actually be dressed as an alien. There were some things that they should have done they didn't do, and I don't know why it happened.
Yeah, but I have to make a point about the toys for Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Which I now can't stop calling Miss Marvel.
Oh no, that's all right.
Yeah, no, okay. So, because I'm like that annoying person who's always going to say it. I was confused by the fact that the little banner there of the characters. I was like, there's 2 Captain Marvels, but there's no other women. And I was like, I know there are other women in this movie.
Yes.
Like, I know it's Captain Marvel's movie.
Yes.
And that's exciting. But like, we've got Minerva. Right?
Yes, true.
And we've got whoever Annette Bening is playing, which we'll talk about
in
a second. And if she's playing who we think she's playing, then why wouldn't you have a toy?
Well, very true, very true. But then again, you see the characters that they do have for the toys. They're only putting characters out that people are really going to be. Imagine, you're not going to see a kid playing with Annette Bening. Watch out! I'm going to get. Oh no!
Why not?
No kid's doing that.
If you play with a random green creature that you don't know the name of,
the random green creature is a Skrull and he's a bad guy.
Once you see the movie, like you think that, and then of course Maria Rambeau. Yeah, Maria Rambeau. He wouldn't call her.
Yeah, true.
So I'm like, what? At least one of them. That's all I'm saying.
Well, what you're saying is, but this is the thing, and we're going to get into it. Fine, let's do it. It's the argument of lack of representation. Is that what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that I understand. I understand. But with Captain Marvel, which is always a story, essentially it's a girl coming into the boys' club and saying, we are definitely equal. In fact, so much so that I will surpass all of you.
Right.
That's the whole story of Captain Marvel. And it just says that, well, no matter who you are, you can be the greatest.
We're all Spider-Man.
And yes, exactly. That's pretty much what it is. And I get it. And because, yes, it is a woman, it definitely has to be a girl power film. And I don't mean girl power. Actually, I mean pro-female power film. You know? I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan of the word girl power. Right. It just kind of diminishes so much.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what you're looking for, and that's what you're missing, and that's what you're saying.
Oh, look at my baby.
But the thing is, she doesn't fly a jet. I'm sorry.
You know what?
I don't want her. I don't want a toy of her flying a jet.
Unless I'm getting the jet.
No, that's what I'm saying. Unless I get the jet, which they're not going to do.
Well, maybe they could do it.
It would
do
be
it,
build
guys.
It would be
build a little jet.
But they would have been build the jet instead of the Century. That would have been smart. They should have just put the Century toy out and then said build the jet.
Yes. See, look at that. Come on,
we
guys.
We solved it right here for
free,
you guys.
For free.
Look at that. You're welcome, Marvel. Get some representation because you're going to be in trouble.
Like someone said, like maybe there's a second wave. Hopefully there's a second wave. Hopefully there's a demand, and then they're like, oh, let's cater to that demand.
Ooh.
You know, that would be great.
Okay, that'd be interesting. I'd still be down for it. All right.
I would also be down for it.
Okay. All right. So, with that, concerning the toys, which toy are you more excited to get?
Of the ones that are available?
See, yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, Captain Marvel.
Which Captain Marvel? There's 2?
Yeah, there's 2.
Well, you know what?
Jacket and like that? I like the leather jacket one. I like the leather jacket one. Just because I'm always a fan of, like, the more, like, human and, like, relatable, you know, side of the characters is, like, my favorite side. You know what I'm saying?
I like the epic proportions. Yeah. I like the godlike character because it's pretty much how I see myself.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's like, that's what I want.
That's relatable to you.
Yeah, well,
exactly.
that is kind of better than everyone.
And then, of course, Nick Fury, because back when he had 2 eyes.
I know,
that's what I'm about.
It's rare. It's rare. Yeah. You know, you want a man who's going to look you in, you know, when you're like, look me in the eyes when you talk to me. You know, you don't want that.
Which is also why they need a goose. There should be a goose toy.
There should be a goose toy.
Obviously, that's
there should be a goose toy
behind the eye story.
That's very true. I agree with you.
The Marvel comes with little cat.
Oh yeah. Oh, so there we go. Goose is going to be there. Perfect. Perfect.
This is the voice from God. This is the producer.
Yeah.
I do have one picture that is a bit of a spoiler. Do you want to see it?
Or yes!
I mean, I want to see it.
Do it.
Spoiler.
This is a goose spoiler.
Okay, a goose spoiler.
Big spoiler.
All right, okay, I'm ready.
This is what I'm talking about. This is the stuff I love.
This is what I'm here for.
This is where you can only get here.
Oh my god!
Look at it! Look at it!
That's so
okay,
precious.
I'm in.
That's so precious.
I'm in.
All right.
Look at the little...
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Wow.
Oh no.
Just letting you know.
That is spoilery.
Just letting you know.
Yeah.
Now, this is in 95, the film taking place.
Yes.
Goose is dead now.
Oh my god.
They don't live that long. I'm just saying they don't live that long.
It's not a real cat, it's a flurkin.
Oh,
so
that's
it could
right.
live
It
longer.
can live much longer.
It could live. So, Goose is fine.
Well, I mean, I don't see it.
Goose is gonna save us.
I don't see it
in
any.
Endgame. Avengers Endgame. Goose is
everything happens. The Goose just runs up and attacks. Like,
yes.
Oh, it's done.
All right. So talking about one of the characters we didn't get, which is Annette Bening, right? We had an article written by our very own Charles on the hashtag.
Yes.
Yes. Connecting imaginary dots.
Well, I love that. I love the title. That was perfect.
Especially because they're real dots.
Yes, they are real dots, guys. And the dots that he connects is pretty much breaking down why and who. Well, who Annette Bening
is playing in
Captain Marvel, and everything that points as to why.
Yes.
I love the one thing that he pointed out was her hair. That was
yes, that was, I was
because
like, sold.
I didn't think about that.
Sold,
and then
exactly.
I literally, he says, if honestly, the part in the article where it says, like, if you don't believe me, Google Annette Bening and look at her hair. And I was like, all right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She has never had gray hair.
Because when I watched the trailer, I was just like, oh, she's old now. Time ravages us.
No, she just did a film not long ago. So it was like, oh, wait a minute. And she's a redhead in that film. She never really gone gray. And then she did for this. And there's a reason why.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that that's the reason.
So, who does Charles believe Annette Bening is playing?
Marvel. Apparently. I should have drum rolled, but...
No, that's perfect.
Retroactive drum roll.
No, that's a big thing, because he goes into depth in the article, and we don't want to give everything away. We definitely want you guys to go ahead and read it, because there's a lot of parts going into it. But immediately, once he did say that, he was kind of concerned because... everyone thought Jude Law was somehow still going to be Marvel.
Right, even after we knew he was young. Right?
Exactly, because it says that he's also playing, the name they gave him.
Right.
Which was...
his human name or whatever.
Yeah, what's his human name?
Oh, that's a great question.
I'm sorry, I almost forgot.
It's Jude Law? No,
you're right.
Just kidding.
It's Jude Law in the film
Walter
as well.
Lawson. It's
there
Walter
you go,
Lawson.
Lawson.
Yeah.
And they called him by Lawson, and it was like, oh, wait, that's Marvel's human,
identity.
counterpart identity, secret identity. But... seems like something else is going to be happening, and we don't know exactly as to what. But Annette Bening is definitely, according to the article, and I believe Charles, so I'm saying it's definitely, she's definitely going to be playing Marvel. Look at that. It makes so much sense. Yeah. That's exactly it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I just feel like it makes sense because Jan Rog obviously is a mentor who is going to, turn sour, right? A rotten egg, if you will. But she thinks she's going to have someone else that she can actually look up to, right? Someone who really is going to be a hero to her.
Exactly.
And someone that she gets the name Marvel from. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense. And it lines up, especially now with the retelling as far as the comic is doing now. Marvel is no longer a man, now Marvel is a woman. Right. So it's like, well, then let's go ahead and catch up with that. Yeah. And that's what we're doing.
And of course, that does mean she may have to die in the film. But not necessarily.
I think so.
Yeah, it's because...
Look, it's in 95.
Most
of the people are dead.
That's true. But I mean, in the film itself, someone always dies to, give you...
Of course.
Yeah, Disney syndrome.
It's a Disney... Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course, that's right.
She's the mother
She's
figure,
a mother, and we all know what happens to mothers in
yeah.
Disney, guys.
And yes, this would mean that it was a gender bending of Marvel. But it makes sense when you want to push that this is, the first, movie about a woman, right?
Yes. So I mean, hey, she needs a female mentor instead of also being connected to that. I can't wait.
I can't
wait. Because she is a bad A carrying herself as one amongst a bunch of Kree. And they're already super duper, and she just comes through and kills it. And it's so good.
Yeah. I see that some people have other options for who she could be. So if you guys think that she might be someone other than Marvel, let us know in the chat.
Here goes Blackwing. I wonder if this is more of a problematic question or the tone in which he's asking. But he says, so Marvel is going to be a woman?
He's like, I don't like the tone that he's just giving you.
I'm wondering, is that the tone so Marvel is going to be a woman? Or is it, so Marvel is going to be a woman? I don't know which one. I don't know which one you're doing.
So
I think Blackwing is probably doing number 2.
Yeah,
I don't think he's
I trust
number
Blackwing.
1 a-hole kind of guy.
I trust you.
I think she plays, Abigail Brand.
Yeah, so that's an I don't even know an Abigail Brand, but her father was an extraterrestrial, inherited the X gene.
Yes,
okay, all right.
Yes.
Well, hey.
Now, the thing is, with that, Abigail Brand being in the story, I forgot, I was reading something concerning that. And she is an X-Men character. And still with the licensing, by the time they were doing the film, writing the film, and actually putting it out, they didn't have it for it.
But I guess they wouldn't have had to say that's what she is.
What are we gonna
they
call
could have
it?
saved that for later. But no, I still think
the problem.
it's an origin story, and again, she's got to get the name Marvel from somewhere. So if Marvel isn't in the movie, that would be super weird.
I mean, and then once again, look, I mean, you're pointing that out right there. The picture again. Remember, in the comic now, as we've done the rechange, Marvel is a woman.
Right. In Life Story.
So yes,
Marvel, right?
So yes.
Right.
In the comic now
Marvel
is a woman.
So in the movie.
Here in the film, she's a woman as well.
And yes, Blackwing. If it's a serious question, I do seriously believe that she's going to be Marvel. Even before the article, which I was already, I was already like, I think she's Marvel, because where's Marvel?
I before the article, nope, no clue.
Oh, really?
I was just like, what is Annette Bening going to be doing in this film? I want to know now, because
she's a high caliber actress. Annette Bening to be like nothing.
No, but then again, see, and I remember that, and someone said that, and it was like, well, we did cast in Avengers, or Captain America 2, we cast, what's his name?
What's his name?
Not Newman. What's his... Who was like, gosh, I don't know.
I have no idea.
He was an older male actor. Who?
Tommy Lee Jones?
Not Tommy Lee Jones. On Captain America 2.
Okay.
He was
Robert Redford.
Robert Redford.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
We cast him, and he didn't do too much.
That's true.
But still, he did something that later became very important.
Right. That later became important.
With that, I'm thinking, this could work out.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of reminds me of like when Nicole Kidman in Aquaman, again, spoilers, becomes in Aquaman, right? And it's like, she dies in like the first scene.
Yeah,
and you're like, does she die?
Yeah.
She's Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Did she just show up to die?
And she was a badass. So,
Right.
I mean, come on. Dude, she was handling everybody.
Yeah.
She was like, I've got hands for you, and you, and you. She was killing everyone. Howard Stark. But, no, with that being the case, I think that definitely her being Marvel makes a lot of sense to me.
Right.
But I know that a lot of people have their opinions concerning it. I suggest reading the article because there is so much information in there that unfortunately we're not able to go ahead and break down for you.
But we can take the whole hour just to read the article.
Yes, exactly. So read the article. You'll actually see a lot of points that do point to exactly possibly her being Marvel.
Right.
So check that out. That's something great to look into. But moving on, again, with our Captain Marvel centric show today.
Yeah, that's right. It's all about Captain Marvel all the time. Yes, we got...
we got Samuel Jackson, and he told Esquire, in an interview with Esquire, that, well... she has so many powers, and then I think I quote, she can time travel,
right?
Or
Yeah.
something like that. Right?
Let me just read this whole quote to you.
Yes.
All right. This one I will read all to you.
All right.
So they were asking about like how can she solve the crisis, the Thanos crisis.
Okay.
And Mr. Samuel L. Jackson said,
"Well,
she's pretty much the strongest character in terms of someone with powers that are able to do things in the Marvel universe. So for Carol Danvers to be that person, and for Bree to become that person is going to be a dynamite thing. I mean, the Avengers are up against some really, really tough odds right now. We saw throughout Infinity War, so now we know that we need something that's as powerful as Thanos. And at some point, we'll find out how powerful she is and all the things she's capable of. She's one of the few people in the Marvel Universe that can time travel, so... ...
Yes.
Everyone stopped caring about what else he said because they were like,
ellipses.
time travel.
Everyone stops right there.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Hold on, man.
Wait a second.
I know her skill set. I know her power set.
Right. And
I don't remember time travel in it.
Yeah.
Because why isn't Rogue doing it later? Anyway, but that's where everyone's saying, like, hold on, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense, this doesn't match up. And look at him. Look, see, you pick the picture with the evil smirk. Now, this is the thing we have to know about Samuel Jackson. He has now gone so far in the Marvel, in the MCU, that he knows that sometimes he has to counteract what our Spider-Man, our current Spider-Man will do, which is give out every bit of information.
He's got to throw you off course.
Exactly. So he's like, I need to shake some things up. I need to rattle some cages. So I think that's actually what he does, because he is known for kind of like giving informational pranks. When he's known for doing that when it comes to interviews, and I happen to think that that's exactly what's happening for that little tidbit concerning time travel, because
purposeful
because I mean, and it's kind of being playful also, because the film is supposed to be taking place in '95, and then we're having flashbacks even further before that,
right?
So in that way,
it's
he's like,
time travel.
It's time travel. So I guess.
But it is funny though, because it's like he was calling her on a pager, contacting her on a pager. So it's like, does he need the pager to travel back in time?
Oh my god. Yeah, and the film will kind of give us an answer of where she was during this whole thing and why we haven't seen her. But most likely she's in space still fighting a war or doing anything else. I don't know. You know, she's pretty much like, you know, the Green Lantern. She has to take care of everything. So, but with that being the case, do you think that he's probably giving us a hint to something that later they probably added on?
I think it's a hint of some kind. Like, yes, I think that she is going to be a key to stopping Thanos, right?
Yes.
And I think that she will be relevant in the time travel aspect of the movie. Like, I think that there will be time travel.
Well, of course, and I'm wondering if you know, we have
So, we have many.
Do you think Doctor
avenues.
Strange
Exactly.
will somehow get her connected and somehow shoot her through time?
That's what I'm thinking that might be possible, yeah.
But then it's like, okay, and why can she time travel versus others? And it may be due to how the Kree is genetically enhanced.
Right, it could be. Oh, bless you. Like, nasty. What if you literally, like, you really
dissolve?
Can't time. You dissolve if you had to do it, right?
Yeah,
but she doesn't because she's super powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That could be the case, and that can be the only reason why she can time travel. Right. But I don't know if he's playing with us or not.
Right.
Because now at this point, a lot of people are running and speculating and going with it. But there goes our lovely one-eyed troll getting us with every bit that he can.
Yeah. And I see that there's like a healthy...
That's true.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
There's a lot of conversation going on.
Yeah, I see a healthy debate happening on pandering, and I think that y'all know what side of that debate I am on.
Oh,
which is please pander to me.
Yes, that's what I want. I want you to do that.
Please pander to me.
And that's something that, of course, MCU definitely, Marvel and Disney know by now. The fan base when it comes to comics, we are one of the biggest, I think like fandoms that automatically, we search and we dig for any spoiler.
Right.
And as we know as an entire group or a people, once we find out something, as we find something, we have to tell the world because one, you want to be the first to tell people because you're like, I found out first, and then also it's like, I want to share this info.
Right.
So we work so hard to find spoilers every day. It's part of like the culture.
Right.
Geek pop culture. It's part of like that's one of the things, the driving force of it. So with that being the case, do you think that it is pandering and he's giving us something, or is he playing with us and it's just like, let's see what happens?
I feel like it's probably both. I feel like he was trying to not necessarily make a joke, but throw people off. But it has to come from somewhere, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire. So, like, I think that there's something behind what he's saying, even if he wasn't purposely trying to give you the whole story.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Maybe. Oh well, okay.
Yeah, so this is the kind of pandering that is being referred to in the chat. Okay, and what I have to say about that is, like, personally, this is my personal opinion. I don't think that diversity makes things bad, right? And things can be bad while having diversity, and they can be bad while not having it, right?
Right.
So changing a character or changing a concept in order to keep up with the times, or to keep up with the public, or to just, give people rights in your fiction is not going to make it automatically bad. But it doesn't make it automatically good either. You have to have a good story
sometimes by doing that, by making that change, people do feel that you're taking away from the character. But are you?
Right.
If the character, if it's, for example, if it happens to be in a book, there used to be a time when people would write books and they would make specifically not mention the person's race, but they would give some level of understanding. Oh, hence the phrase "tall, dark, and handsome." It was just like, here it is. It's just.
Right.
It's just, okay, they're male and they're tall.
Right.
When we say dark, it can be something as far as, it can be swarthy.
I was so confused about dark, about that dark descriptor back before, because I was like, oh, you just mean they have black hair?
Yeah,
like,
right. That's all it means. That's all it means. And people were like going crazy, like, oh, do you mean like dark, like, wait, is he quote unquote swarthy, which is now a racist term, I think. But like, oh, okay, is he like, oh, is he South Asian? Is he black? Is he this? Is he that? Is he that?
He's just got dark hair.
Just means he has dark hair. It can be any race, just dark hair and tall. And that's what it used to be when you had to do it in literature. But now people want once again, it goes back to it, representation.
Yes.
People want it so bad that sometimes, unfortunately, like being a large publisher or creating films, you get this backlash from everyone, or you get it from particular groups that can be very vocal.
Right.
And just because they're vocal doesn't mean they're large, but they can be very vocal, and they'll start saying, "Well, I want," and then you're like, "Wait, well, why?
Right.
We've already been doing this for so long. Where were you earlier? Now you're here. Do I have to make that change?"
Right.
That's how I would feel. But a lot of people are getting upset over it. And it's like, well, what do you do? Do you go ahead and pander? Or do you hold on to what you've already created? What would you do?
I mean, I think that as long, like, I have personally, my personal drive is to be as inclusive as possible when I'm, when I'm writing something. So obviously I would be like, and I don't consider it pandering when I'm like, I want to include different kinds of people, right? Of course, I would like, it would be great if you could just start a new project, right? And new characters that come in with that. But unfortunately, that doesn't often, get steam, right? Pick up steam. You have to,
Very true.
sometimes you do need to start from a place like Miles Morales did, right? Like a legacy character.
Very
or like
true.
Miss Marvel, so it's like you're still like paying an homage to the original character and not changing that, but you're introducing a new element that more people can connect with. And that's, I think Miles Morales has been a pretty good, character, right? It's had a positive reaction. People love Miles, So I certainly wouldn't say, like, that he's contributed to bankrupting Marvel Comics.
Well, wow. People would say that, and I'm like, no, guys. You know what contributed to bankrupting Marvel Comics? Joe Quesada. Joe Quesada, damn it.
Yeah.
No.
Well.
But, well, actually, people that work at Marvel say that. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. There are different reasons. But I wouldn't say that would be the reason why.
Right.
Come on, guys. But then people are going crazy about that whole thing, and that goes into so much more concerning Marvel and pandering and making sure that it can make everyone happy. And with that, I want to go into talking about what's happened at the Golden Globes.
Right. That did not make us happy.
Well, it didn't make some people happy.
Right.
Oh, I have a very interesting view on this, and I can't wait.
So, as I say, if
God.
Joe was going to be here, Joe would probably argue that this proves that Spider-Verse is a better film than Black Panther.
That's my argument. That's my argument. That's my argument, guys. That's my argument.
You are Joe.
And it's because, well, yeah, I have to say what my dad says. So, with that being the case, dad number one says, and it's Joe, his ego, so he's dad number one. So, with that being the case, you tell me.
Okay. I'm going to tell you.
You're a writer. So, on paper.
Yeah. On paper.
Which one, just as a film,
or
as a story,
yeah,
and you're reading it, which one was the better film?
I think I've said this before. Like, I think that Spider-Verse had just like a more cohesive story.
Yes, it did.
It was just like, first, it's just so innovative.
Let's rumba. Yes, we're about to go for it right now. Because I'm waiting for her to say something so I can say my one phrase that I've been waiting to say, which is, "You're stupid. This is the answer." No, I won't say that.
I would never say anything stupid. That's not true.
No,
I say stupid all the time.
You're much smarter than me. You're fine.
No, but yeah. So I really think that, like, there's no aspect of Spider-Verse that I would take out. It's like I walk away thinking like, well, this
okay,
is...
that's what I was hoping.
Yeah.
I was hoping to use that as my argument if you said, but okay, you're saying it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I mean,
there's no aspect of Spider-Verse from the film as a story that I would take out.
Because I think it was just like really well edited, really obviously really well animated, and it just combined like not perfect, but as close to perfect as possible story with really creative elements that made it stand out. Yeah.
Yes.
Not just as an animated film, but as a film. Now, of course, I think that Black Panther is a seminal, like as a movement, right, or as a cultural milestone. And it had some really amazing.
Guys, there's a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
I have the freaking the titanium freaking. There's a reason why I have the Kamoyo beads. Kamoyo beads. There's a reason why I'm wearing this shirt. There's a reason why I love this film beyond measure, and it's cultural relevancy for me. It's representation for me. Yeah.
But it also has amazing emotional moments.
It definitely does. Now, this is the thing: the actors in this film. Is it doing a disservice to the actors in this film versus the Spider-Verse? Because you tell me that these actors aren't some of the best to exist in this time currently.
Absolutely true.
And you tell me that their performance wasn't really possibly some of the best we saw on screen. Yes, but were there other films in the category that it was being voted for that were better? Or other performances that were better?
But was the film that was better the one that won? Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, okay.
So, like, that's where I'm like, any other movie could have won in that category.
I feel it was snubbed because of that.
Yeah.
Because Bohemian Rhapsody, P.S. guys, was hot garbage.
Right.
Because I feel it wasn't a cohesive story. There were so many bits and pieces that were like, oh, this is clearly rushed. We should have taken more time.
Right.
It should have been a larger film. It should have been a rated R film. So this way we can get some of the story elements that we really needed that unfortunately they chose to dance around.
Right.
Freddie Mercury did not find out he had AIDS by the time.
So it was, like, not historically accurate.
There's a lot of stuff that goes on with it. But then again, people argue the whole thing of, wait, so... And this is where I heard someone... And I read this, and I was like, this just started a fight with so many people I know. So you're saying the black struggle and black rights is more important than the gay struggle and gay rights?
Oh, my
God. And I was like... Who are you?
Right.
Where do they make you? And why would you bring that in?
Yeah, that's not
because
what
that's
about.
not what this is about.
That's not what that's about.
Really, we're talking about just an actual film.
Yeah. Like, Rami Malek winning for Best Actor, I was like,
sure.
And then,
I mean, because come on, he was definitely Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
I mean, God, to no extent.
And then Bohemian Rhapsody winning, I was like,
that was my problem.
Excuse me?
That was my problem. The movie was hot garbage.
Yeah.
For me. It was fully hot garbage for me.
Yeah.
Now, going back into it now, Spider-Verse, congratulations, they won for anime.
Yes, thank you. Thank
you. But now going further into it, we have BAFTAs.
We do have BAFTAs.
Now, everyone's going crazy concerning the fact that they feel that Black Panther was snubbed in the BAFTAs. Was it because it wasn't nominated? Or because, I forgot what other film won. But that film was, like, as far as, like, it being written.
Yeah, the nominations just came out.
Yeah.
So I guess it was Black Panther was not nominated, is what I would imagine. And Bohemian Rhapsody is, but it's outstanding British film, so I guess that's fine.
Yeah, but so what are the films for best film? And they expected
best film. Black Klansman. All right, I accept. The Favorite. I accept. Green Book. I don't accept.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you have a problem with Green Book.
Yeah, I have a problem, like, in terms of, like, the family. Yeah, the family.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, okay.
Roma, I accept, and A Star Is Born, I accept. So, yeah, really, I accept all of these, except...
Star Is Born is pretty much the same film that it's been the 3 other times it came out.
You know what? It's so funny. This is so unrelated, but I went to see it with my dad, who has seen every version of A Star Is Born. He's obsessed with it, whatever. We went to go see it, and he was so mad. At the end of it, he was like, that didn't make any sense. And I was like, that's exactly how every other film has been, Dad. Is it not? He's like, no, it was not earned this time.
Dad, this was literally Streisand. She channeled Streisand, Dad.
Yeah, but he thought that Bradley Cooper's character at the end, like the what happens at the end, he thought it wasn't earned that time.
Okay.
He was like,
versus how it did in Barbara Streisand's and how it did in what's her name's prior. Well,
Judy Garland.
Yes, and how because And this is the thing. Bradley Cooper did take license with the change on how his character ended. But remember, he was also directing, so it was good for him to do it that way. So this way, he didn't have to be on screen most of the time, that's why. So that's why I was I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But
right. Well, that's a good way to look at it. I didn't think about that.
Was the acting? Let's go through them.
Yeah,
was the acting in any of those films or all of those films better or hit home more than Black Panther?
Right. I mean, yeah, like performance-wise, all of these are good, right? Like there's
good,
nothing,
but were they better? And one that I would take out, I definitely would still take out Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody is under British film. So it's fine.
Yeah,
so we don't,
true.
Because Black Panther's not British.
So it's not even there.
But best film, I would probably take out, I don't think The Favorite's like amazing. Like The Favorite's like fine. And obviously I take out Green Book for personal reasons. But other than that, Like,
well, a lot of people are wishing they could take out,
yeah,
literally just take out that film.
Yeah, exactly. I would like to delete this film.
Yeah, right.
But,
right. What's his name dropping the N-bomb during like some interview?
Oh yeah, Viggo Mortensen. I was
wow.
so yeah.
And I looked at him like, what?
Poor Mahershala Ali.
What made you think that it was okay to say that
yeah,
right now?
Mahershala Ali has had to like put out so many fires with that film.
Yes.
And he's like being like the king of diplomats.
Yeah. Oh
with it.
gosh.
It's crazy.
He's showing up like I'm Martin Luther King. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I feel really bad for you. But no, yeah, it's like, what do you do with that? But my gosh, so with all of these films, the acting chops, the caliber, the gravitas, and it's the material also for all of those films. They're all dealing with some heavy stuff,
right?
Versus Black Panther, and then you're kind of like, okay, I can see why they didn't put it in the option
they
for
did
voting in the BAFTAs.
As Blur mentioned, it did get nominated for visual effects.
Oh yes, it definitely did.
You know, which it definitely deserves. Like,
but a lot of people were arguing the whole thing about, well, why wasn't it nominated also for wardrobe? Because that was like, okay, that was a task. I totally agree with that. Wardrobe, that was a task. If it doesn't get a Oscar nomination for wardrobe in I already said in the Oscars, then I'm gonna like riot. Like, and I'll. That's interesting.
Yep.
That's something we have to talk about in box office. The box office show. It's on it today. After the writer of Green Book made that tweet, he can go straight to hell. Like, I agree with you, but that's something we'd have to discuss on the box office film. But we are talking about why we feel or why we don't feel that. Why we feel it may have been snubbed at Golden Globes, and why we may or may not feel that it's snubbed in the BAFTAs.
I mean. Yeah, like I've said, I think any film could have won over Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody, yeah, and I that's why, yes, I do kind of agree. Yep. Where other people are getting upset, I feel like it was snubbed because Bohemian Rhapsody, though it may be enjoyable, when it comes to it, it's not a cohesive story. It's because of the editing. It's because of what they had to do. As far as I feel, it was rushed. You can tell it. And watch someday they'll have a director's cut where it's going to be rated R and it's going to actually be 2 hours instead of an hour and a half. No, you don't think so?
Because it had to go through the band.
Oh shoot, that's right. For what they actually approved and what they didn't clear. So sense. That's it. Oh yeah, and it's that stupid guitarist dude that was like in charge of everything. Even like, he was there all the time. No, that's not right.
Oh, that's right. I heard about that.
I would say They said he kept showing up, like even after they finished, and they said, "All right, now we have not the teleplay, but the little screenplay. This is it. This is how we're gonna do it." Oh, I didn't say it like that. Right. It was like, dude, look,
and that could definitely interfere.
Go
with
get your check somewhere else. You're already done.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's true. We won't ever see that. So that's unfortunate. Sad. So with that being the case, I'm sorry to say it, but your movie was hot garbage.
Right. No, but I do hope that, like, for the Oscars, like, I hope they take this opportunity to do what the Golden Globes didn't, right? And give Black Panther several nominations. At the very least, because it might get you some ratings, you know? Let me help you. Let me just help you out. Be like, oh.
So you think that Black Panther will be nominated in the Oscars?
I hope so. I mean, at the very least,
I'm telling you, wardrobe. I think wardrobe and special effects.
Special effects.
Yes.
Makeup. I don't understand. Here's my question. Every movie has makeup, okay?
Yes.
And yet and hair. And yet every year 3 movies are nominated. As if they just couldn't find makeup in other films. It drives me nuts.
True. That's very true.
So please add a 4th and put Black Panther in there.
That makes sense. They're always like, all right, and makeup. This film. Wait, all these films, they did the whole natural. Wait, these are documentaries. You're like, wait, there's no makeup in them. They're like, and the winner. You're like, wait, you're not even listening at this point. Yeah, that's true.
So that I hope so. And of course, original score nominate as well, you know. Like I think it would be difficult to nominate performances, not because they weren't good, because like obviously Michael B. Jordan gave an excellent performance as Eric Killmonger, and if I could nominate like guest star in a movie, supporting actor, I'd nominate Sterling K. Brown just for the those 2 scenes.
For those few, they were good, but
man. Right, like,
I mean, come on, compared to other people that have actually did other things for their,
right, and also it's just like it would already be crazy enough if Black Panther got nominated,
but I just don't. Okay, I'm just gonna say this right now. Don't nominate it for best film, guys. And I know A lot of people are going to be mad at me, and the reason I'm saying don't nominate it for Best Film in the Oscars, because it won't win, and when it doesn't win...
People will get mad.
When it becomes the, like, last year or the year before, where it was like, oh, hashtag Oscars so white, it's going to be a full-on, like, all right, the black people have so spoken, they're just going to get up and start tearing things down at the show. Like, it's all over. Don't subscribe to the Oscars anymore, and I will be one of those people that will get in my car and drive down and be like, let's tear this place down. I will be one of them. If it doesn't get nominated, this won't happen because people will be like, oh, we already knew it, so we didn't even show up.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing.
I see.
We just won't show up.
I'm
just saying. I'm saying no. I'm just saying that it's racist if they vote if they go ahead and nominate us just so they can wave something in our. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm going to speak for I guess some of the black nerds. You're just waving it in our face by saying like, okay, hey guys, yeah, you count. Here goes your film. Guess what? It's not going to win though. No. It was just a waste. We're glad you guys showed up. You know, it's like, no, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. So go ahead and give me my nominations for other things. Maybe nominate some of the actors. That would be great for things, supporting role, blah, 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 et cetera. But putting it as best film, that may be hard, or best picture, but there could be for a director.
Yeah, that would be great.
That wouldn't be bad, because when you think about that film and you see how great that one is, yes, I believe Coogler deserves director. That's what I believe.
Okay.
That's what I believe.
Okay.
See, in Black Queen, I have to agree with you, Daniel, on that one because the Oscar 2016
was an
apocalypse for a lot of people. That's very true. It was. And I'm saying is don't give us that fake nomination where you're just pretty much, once again, which I said from the beginning, my transitional sentence is pandering.
Yeah.
That's literally what you're doing, and you're pandering to, now it's gone beyond because you're pandering to a race.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, remember when they were going to try to add that new category for, like, popular film?
Oh, God.
That's the definition of pandering right there.
Yes.
Like, just make it the MTV Movie Awards at that point.
That's right. So that's my opinion on it, and that's my rant, but what do you think?
No, I mean, like, I already said my thing. Like, I hope it gets nominated for various categories, whether or not it gets nominated for Best Picture. Like, I think it'd be awesome, but I don't want anyone, I don't want you to have to drive over there and tear down the stage.
I am waiting and willing and able. I'll just show up there and I'm like, But
it definitely, I do think it deserves, like, costume.
Writer's Guild, and I'll just come through.
Score, nominations wise, and I think it has to win.
I can go for that.
But yeah, and like I said, please, hair and makeup. It exists in every film. And more films deserve to be recognized for it. Also, things like sound effects, sound.
Oh, that's true.
Like, that was great.
Original soundtrack, original songs, original score. That's something definitely that I expect to see. Oh, I expect to see it there for that too. I definitely expect to see it for that too. But that will be what we're hoping for. It doesn't mean it will actually happen.
Right.
And with that, I think we've rounded out everything. We've covered exactly what we wanted to cover concerning what's happening in the superhero world. More of what's on film and what's coming out than anything else. And that was interesting for me.
Go watch Reign of Superman on the 13th and 14th.
That's right. Congratulations, Blur. You'll be seeing that soon, actually. That's something I know a lot of people are talking about. See, okay, we're talking about films right now, guys. You guys need to be able to tune in on what day is it that we do we do on Saturday. I think we do the box office showdown. Office showdown on Saturdays.
All right.
You guys need to tune in on Saturdays because a lot of these discussions that you guys are bringing up are amazing discussions that we need to have there. Hold on to them just for a moment and then bring them up there. Trust me, we will have a free-for-all and talk about as much as possible. But with that being the case, I think we've covered up so much.
Yeah.
We want to say thank you guys for tuning in. We definitely do appreciate it. Once again, thank you, Toku Kid, for the super chats.
Yeah.
We definitely do appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
I'm Daniel, a.k.a. Battlestar Galactica.
I'm Tatiana, a.k.a. Marcella's Ear.
That's right.
And you can continue these conversations on our Facebook page.
Yes. At THS, you can go to THS Hashtaggers. You can go to thathashtagshow.com to, if you want to read up on any of the articles that we actually discussed here today. And we look forward to being able to discuss everything with you there and continue having a discussion here.
Yes.
So once again, thank you. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to keep up to date with everything trending
in geek pop culture.